Hello, everybody. I'm holding my computer up so that I can sit here in some semblance of some light and bring you some information about the gate that we're moving into this week. So, um, to as of June 2nd, that is today, we are moving into gate 35. And gate 35 is found in the throat chakra, it's in the throat center. And it's really, when we look at all of the different ways that it's interpreted, it really is this gate that asks us to look at where we need to change our mindset, where we need to get curious with our shadow, and where we need to find a little bit of adventure, right? So in both the gene keys and in the quantum human design, there's this aspect of it that is looking at well, from the gene keys perspective, let's just talk about that for a minute. On the shadow side, it's kind of this gate of hunger. It's this sense of like this primal need, this driving us forward, this need to connect, this need for more, right? And it's like the goal is to really to come to like to work with these like this shadow hunger, this drive that's happening, and not to make it the enemy, not to push against it, but to actually invite it in, right? And so and where can we find this balance of inviting in a little bit of this drive for adventure, this drive for this curiosity for more in the world. And when we really pull it in and we befriend it, then we can really make a space for us to question, like, how have how have I been kind of living the same story every day? Where am I kind of trapped in the same old? But the goal here is not to just like blow up your life and run in a new direction unless you're really being called to do that. It's more to like, it's more to find this sense of adventure, this curiosity. And remember, we are in Gemini right now. So we have this kind of overall, this overarching archetype that's talking about curiosity and adventure and asking us to look at where we need to shift mindset, where and now this gate is really highlighting that, is like, where can you find more adventure, not in doing something different, but in how you're doing things you do every day? Can you shift your mindset from this thing is not fun to this thing is to finding a mindset in which it's the most enjoyable thing you're going to do in this moment, right? So it's like, it really is asking us to not like blow up our life and run to Costa Rica, although I like to do that. But it's really more like, how can I find that sense of adventure in every moment? How can I let life unfold? And that's really what the original hexagram in the I Ching was really about, is kind of this flow state of like, I think it's relaxed control, I think is the name of it. And it's really is about the sense of like, I'm just going to take life as an adventure, and I'm going to start to pay attention to the stories that I tell myself about my life and see where I'm trapping myself into these mindsets, into these belief systems. And I'm going to start to question, I'm going to get curious about those things. I'm going to start to question those things. How can I shift them? How can I just shift my perspective? I met a woman, I went to have my nails done. And sometimes that's just a little treat I like to have. And the woman next to me, uh, she had a great color. And I said, I really liked her color. And she said, thanks, I'm celebrating. And I asked her about it. And she said, well, she's basically a cancer survivor. She has a lot of things going on. And she said, I will never be cured, but I can manage it. And she said, I mean, angels walking this earth, right? And this, sometimes we sit next to them in the nail salon. And she said, you never really know how grateful you are for something until you really know how grateful you are for something, until you have something like this that teaches you what real gratitude is. And that's a really big shift in mindset, right? Like, of course, that's a big shift in mindset, but I think it's even in the little mundane things, the taste of a peach, the sounds of the giggles of her grandchildren. Like she's finding more joy and gratitude and satisfaction in even these small little moments. Now we talk about that a lot. We talk about like being really present and mindful and being able to really get the juice of life, right? Like to not to stay in gratitude. But can you really even take it that next step and treat each moment like an adventure? Like if I've really leaned into the infinite possibility that exists in every moment of my life, right? And then the highest expression in the Gene Keys, it's boundless, right? There's like when you're really not held to any limitations or set beliefs or set perceptions, there's, we could fly if we believed we could fly, if we were in the evolutionary state. Now, Richard Rudd does talk about like one day we will be able to fly and, or we'll remember how to fly, that we've flown before, or we've flown in different dimensions and that we will return to that, right? Because there is no time space dimension in that, right? So and he even says, I'm going to get raked over the coals for saying things like this, but it's kind of that superhero when we were little, what we really believed was possible, right? The adventure of life before us. And where have we gotten bogged down by the story we tell ourselves, by the limited perceptions that we might have? So this gate asks us to look at those things. And then how would we express our lives differently? How would we show up in community? How would we show up in partnership if we really brought that sense of curiosity and wonder? We let that Gemini energy really light us up and really brought that to every moment of our day. So that's your report for gate 35. And I'm going to challenge you to what can you do for the next week or two until we transit again, that really brings that curiosity and that wonder into every moment of your day. What would be possible if you brought that energy? What would it take, as you guys like to hear me say? Okay. Let me know in the comments.